Fear not, the universe as we know it will not be as decimated as you think. But I think Yamcha will still learn a valuable lesson through entertaining results. Hey folks, MasakoX here. As April draws to a close, we at the MasakoX channel are just about finished with our latest April Fool outing. During this month, we like to start things off with a more zany story that doesn't sit as tightly to the rules of Dragon Ball like our other What Ifs do. Here, we can be a little bit more madcap with things, and do things that are much more amusing and entertaining rather than being absolutely rigidly accurate or logical. This is our fourth story of this effect that has followed this premise, and I will admit, these are actually the more entertaining and narratively liberating stories got going for this channel. So, for this particular one for 2021, we've got the chance to really go off the deep end with this one, seeing a world where Yamcha, the butt of many jokes throughout the entire fandom, had had enough of this, and chose to take it out on anyone he could, through the means of foresight and creepy powers. What if he got the chance to destroy the universe? Thanks to one of our viewers on the Roundtable livestream, Jay the Real McCoy, we were given the brief to basically give Yamcha the Deadpool treatment, and essentially tear the Universe 7 and reality as we know it, apart, and find out the true meta legacy that he is about to face. That signature pose of his right here is all that people remember him for, and he didn't take too kindly to that. As a result, he went a little bit loopy and used his connections, literally using those connections, and set about becoming the strongest being in the universe, to then wreak havoc some more on anyone he could find in the vicinity. And he went everywhere, even decking Vegeta in the schnoz, quite handily in fact. The ultimate payback given his past and all. In the last part, after having ensured that Porunga could no longer make wishes in this universe, Yamcha began his rampage with New Namek, then with the likes of Frieza, and had his way with him. Stop it! No, not like that. Instead, he chose to lord it up thanks to the basic power thing of Xenoverse 2, where he went a little bit manic there, taking out his rage and frustration out on everybody. From the former Emperor, he set about taking out the strongest of the universe, including the likes of Broly, Goku, Vegeta, so that nobody could stop him in his process, and he would truly be the ultimate being in the universe, his legacy assured, that everybody would know who he was and what he was capable of. What we found quite amusing in particular, pretty much vindicating Yamcha's behaviour here, was that it took them being literally thrown about like ragdolls for the Saiyans to actually believe Yamcha was the one responsible for this, that he was capable of doing this, for causing all this mayhem. For the bandit? Oh, this was all the more reason for them to be decked. Now with that having happened, he was also dangling a carrot to Whis to get his attention to the angel, and sure enough it worked. Now we're going to be witnessing the great duel that would decide the direction that the universe will go. The cat versus the wolf. Will Yamcha's psychotic rampage continue? Or will that cat have his food? Yeah, if you know what I mean. Before he took out his frustration of having to do stuff, Beerus did have to give Yamcha a hand for what he had done in terms of destruction. You know, when I saw what you did to Goku and Vegeta, and I saw everything, I thought you might not have been so dumb after all. But now looking at you, this energy is not something to be proud of. You got this through ill-gotten gains, clearly. Those blasted Dragon Balls, no doubt. Can't you see? This power is slowly killing both your body and your mind. That's what you get for dealing with dragons. I swear I should forbid those Namekians from making those damn things altogether. Yamcha tilted his head and smiled menacingly. Oh, look, Beerus, you flatter me. But you don't have to worry about that dragon anymore. I've made it so nobody can wish on them again. Is that so? I didn't think that was possible. That's what the old Namekian said before he made a poor choice of words. But no matter. If my time's limited, I still have plenty of time to deal with you. Beerus smiled back, liking this attitude immensely. Ho-ho, frisky are we? Those two also were like this, yet neither of them succeeded. Can you? Yamcha giggled. Well, unlike them, I have nothing to lose. And so the fight began. Right out of the gate, Beerus was quite surprised by the sheer power of this human being. He'd expected this from Saiyans, but not the caretaker of these monkeys these days. Curious. Whatever wish that Yamcha made on that dragon, it would seem that he really wished for a lot in the strength department, huh? But unfortunately for Yamcha, Beerus still was a god of destruction. That is something that no wish could outclass. As stated by Torombo in the Dragon Ball Super manga, you can't outwish a god with just that alone. So, despite his gigantic power gain, the cat took some punches with very little resistance, but none of them happened to damage him in any meaningful way, really. He was just using this as a time to suss out his opponent. Enraged by his lack of progress with this opponent, Yamcha decided to power up some more, as Beerus started a furious God Ki barrage, which the human had to dodge so that he wouldn't be incapacitated so soon into the battle. His wolf fang fists were enough to land a hit though. It's just, those hits were just strong enough for like sparring sessions, not really meant for a proper duel. He needed to step up even more clearly. For the first time since his rampage began, Yamcha felt that he might genuinely be outmatched here by his opponent. His conquest of the universe might be derailed if he wasn't careful, in fact. The Beerus balls were then being fired at Yamcha at a great velocity, and our anti-hero had great difficulties in dodging them. In the back of his mind, he reckoned that this could be it, in fact. This might be where the joyride ends, and reality would come crashing back down. However, deep within all the insanity that he had laid around himself right now, he decided to focus, which caused him to actually get hit a couple of times, but it was worth it. It cleared his head a bit. He still responded with punches and kicks and tried to appear involved in the fight, and yet Beerus was sensing victory.
It was fun while it lasted, Yamcha, but this game is over. I cannot allow you to run amok anymore. That's my job.
Yamcha grinned as he gathered the remaining strength of his and touched his forehead and vanished.
What? Where did that wretch go? Whist, quickly!
Meanwhile, Shin and Kibito were enjoying some tea in the sacred world of the Kais. One of the few things that Shin was actually good at, making tea. They were discussing recent events when Yamcha just appeared right in front of them. Of course, being blissfully unaware of the sudden mishaps going on with the bandit at the center of it all, they just welcomed him like they would for Goku.
Yamcha, what happened? Do you have any news from Goku about the situation?
Shin wasn't able to make another sentence happen because a powerful ki blast made a hole in his chest, much to Kibito's surprise. Before the attendant was able to react himself and heal Shin, Yamcha kicked Shin to a greater effect, putting him out of reach. Whis and Beerus then popped up, but a split second too late. As Beerus started to hold his chest, he could feel his immortality fading, the bond between him and Shin pulling him closer toward death. At the same time, Whis bowed his head and knew about his fate too, Angel disappearing. Yamcha walked triumphantly over to Beerus and merely just whispered in the cat's fading ear.
I'm used to dealing with cats, Lord Beerus. I've been doing it for years.
It was just Kibito and Yamcha left. The human aimed his hand at the Kai.
You heal me.
Why would I help you, you monster?
I may be weakened, but I'm still powerful enough to blow up planets. For every time you refuse to assist me, I'll blow up one more. And I know that there aren't that many left these days. So, how about that?
Kibito wasn't too happy at this, but he had to cooperate. At least for now.
Let's go find the Super Dragon Ball, shall we?
Forcing Kibito into working for him, Yamcha had found the initial 3 orbs, but for the other 4, he'd have to go to Universe 6 for those. Originally, Kibito was merely pretending to be helping Yamcha, trying really to get to Champa and Fua, maybe hatch a plan. But Yamcha anticipated that, and followed his power signature to the Supreme Kai of Universe 6, instead of going to Champa. You can see where we're going here. Because now he knew that connection between the Supreme Kai and God was so critical. He could just head Champa off at the pass, with the greatest of ease, not even have to deal with him. There, he dispatched of Kibito, and used Fua's nervousness to his advantage, taking him hostage in order to find the remaining 4 Super Dragon Balls, as well as translate for him. Champa might have been a god of destruction, but he was rather nervous at sensing his Supreme Kai in danger. He knew about what would happen. Yamcha's wish was, of course, to become a god. After the wish was fulfilled, Vados, Champa, Hit, Caulifla, Kale and Kaba stepped in to stop him, but it was too late. Yamcha already had a divine power planted within himself, which he decided to demonstrate by using Hakai on Fua, now having done with him, taking both him, Champa and Vados out of the picture at once. Then he was going to fight the tag team of the Defenders of Universe 6. Kaba was the first to fall, Kale and Caulifla did not have Katara to fuse with, so they were gone too, and Hit. Hit was fighting for the longest, obviously, improving all the time. But now Yamcha was a divine being, in the end, Hit had fallen too. Yamcha, much like Goku Black and Zamasu, continued on with his insane rampage, taking down Supreme Kais in order to defeat their gods of destruction, one by one. He even fought the likes of Jiren and Toppo, and won, leaving Universe 7 as his own personal desert. When he got back to Earth, he realized that the Dragon Balls here had been used to bring Goku and Vegeta back to life. They appeared before him with Puar and Bulma.
Yamcha, please stop this madness!
See? In the end, even your demises did not mean a thing. You can just revert them. But not this time. Don't worry, I'll liberate you all from this foolish tale.
And as such, Yamcha used her Kai on Earth and everyone on the planet. Now, there was one more thing left to do. As a divine being, he now had access to the time rings with no penalty. So, there was one thing he had to do. 18 years ago, Yamcha, Chaozu, Tenshinhan and Piccolo stood before Vegeta and Nappa. The Saiyans seemed pretty sure of themselves. That is until a powerful blast of destruction energy shows up and just wipes them off the face of the earth, much to everyone's shock. Past Yamcha then sees himself, but older, with white hair and a purple aura around him. He doesn't look particularly sane either.
Who are you?
Asks past Yamcha.
I am you. I just saved your dignity. Now step aside. I need to clean up the stupid timeline as well. You see, you and I, these fools, we're all fictional. Everything doesn't make sense here, and everything we do turns out to be a joke. So, I'll erase everything. I won't give anyone the satisfaction of laughing at us. Not after we've been through this stupid, meaningless world.
Chaozu looks at past Yamcha and is confused.
Yamcha, what is he talking about?
Past Yamcha blinked twice.
Hey! I've no idea what you're going on about, but you have no right to talk to my friends like that! I don't care if you happen to be me from the future. That's not cool, bro! These aren't your friends. They're only your friends when it suits them, like now. They'll ditch you at the first possible opportunity. You'll quickly become a joke to them. A joke to everyone. An afterthought. Shut up! Well, Fang Fist!
And as such, past Yamcha charges into evil Yamcha. He doesn't seem to be phased, in fact. But the evil grin changes into a look of disappointment.
I outclass you. Stop being a fool. I don't care! I won't let you hurt my friends! Oh well. This was an embarrassing period of my life anyway. Hakai.
And past Yamcha then saw darkness and coldness. But only for a moment. He wasn't gone. Not really. Very quickly he realized that he wasn't past Yamcha. He was both of them. And he was standing before Shenron.
This,
said Shenron.
this is your legacy, Yamcha. You do not truly desire power. Even when tempted, you want a simple life. You want to be loyal to your friends and do the right thing. This is how they will remember you. This will be your legacy.
Wait, was that all a dream? Did any of what I did happen? How can I be
Yamcha! There are ways of acquiring great and terrible powers, but not all men are capable of dealing with said power when they get it. Sometimes they can be really petty in their actions. This could happen to you if you were like this, but when I look at you now, I do not see it. Sometimes the most dangerous foe you need to fight in life is yourself.
Yamcha looked at Puar, who apparently didn't see the vision going down.
I never thought about it like that.
The truth is, Yamcha, is that you really didn't want to take part in this tournament of power after a lifetime of warfare and combat anyway. And your friends respected that. There is more to life than just fighting, and you represent that to them.
Thank you, Shenron.
Yamcha smiled.
What is your second wish?
Yamcha looked at Puar.
What do you want, little buddy?
Me? Really? I'm getting a wish?
Sure thing.
I wish for my friends to have a very good day.
Your wish is granted.
And as such, the Dragon Balls went on their way across the sky.
Well, Puar, That was a pretty wholesome wish. Good idea.
Well, I was thinking like of a million zenny, you know, or a bigger litter tray. But that didn't feel right, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to think about the simple pleasures. Come on, let's go home, little buddy.
Agreed.
And so, Yamcha returned home with Puar. On their way back though, they were invited by Bulma, having felt guilty for shouting at them earlier, to a party that was meant to celebrate their victory in the Tournament of Power. And you know what? That was their best day ever. And that's where we end things. So what do you folks think? Do you think Yamcha learned a lesson about remaining humble and being content with their lot? Would a manic Yamcha even make sense? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!